Well, hi everybody. Welcome to step number 2 for our stained glass windows. My name is Trish. I'm an art teacher and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, this step, we are working on starting to paint in our stained glass windows that we have inside our homes. I went out today and I went out looking at these beautiful pumpkin patches and these farms, and I came home very inspired. Most of the time, I tell people to have a very limited color palette, but I am putting in all the colors that I saw today. So what I would like for you to do is get a palette. This is reusable. This is actually a container that something else came on. I like making palettes out of everything. And you can fill in all the colors that you plan on using today. I don't know if I'll use all of them, but I plan on using a lot of them. We'll see what happens. Next, you'll need a cup of water. I have a flat brush, if you can see that, and I have a round brush, and I was already playing with some paint. So you can see that the round brush is round at the top. Have a rag that you need for your paintbrushes, and then the two types of paint that I'm using on my window is I'm using this Nicole's Craft Studio paint. This you can get pretty inexpensively. I got a lot of mine at AC Moore before AC Moore got liquidated. And then my favorite art store of all time is Blick. So this is Blick Acrylic, and that's another kind that you can use. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to work on the landscape. So this is a pumpkin patch. Oh, you know what? Before we do anything, we should make sure that we have everything really rubbed down. So let's take a minute and rub down all the tape. Okay, now I know that the backdrop is black because it's now nighttime. However, when I start painting, the picture's going to show up. So what we're going to do is you're going to pick a color that you want. You're going to keep the colors within a block, and we're going to change the colors every other section. And that way when we pull the tape off, it creates this contrast. Alright, so down here on this part of the field, I'm going to do brown. Can you see that? I'm going to do brown. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of my gold at the same time. I'm going to be very respectful when I get to the bottom. And now I'm going to skip around. You know what? I'm going to do a little cross hatching actually, because I can see the brush strokes. So all I'm going to do is make sure that it has texture then, because if you see the brush strokes, I'm not going to pretend like they're not there. I'm going to emphasize on it. So I'm going to create these X's or cross hatching. All right, now I'm going to skip one. I'm going to do one over here. All right, I'm going to skip one. I'm going to do one right here. Oh, I made a mistake. It's not a big deal. You just relax, take a deep breath, and you keep going. I'm going to jump over here, and this will be the last section I do with this mixture. You know, you can have an idea on what you want to paint or the colors you want to go places, but as soon as you start painting, new things come to your mind, and it's always fun. All right, now I'm going to do, because this is all kind of the same field, I want to create a little bit of contrast. So now I'm just going to do brown. I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm going to have some of the that old color on it. And I can hit the tape. I want it to go over a little bit of the tape, but I don't want to go past the tape. And I can see those brush strokes, and you know what, just to keep consistency, I'm going to cross hatch. Maybe in another area I'll do something else. Alright, now this area, nice beautiful brown. all those X's. Brown. And all those X's. All right, I think that's looking good. Let's do this area right here. And if you're doing your stained glass with me, I hope you're painting at the same time I'm painting and we're doing this together. Whenever you get anxious or you think you're going to make a mistake or maybe you do a line you don't like, put your paintbrush down, take a deep breath, and keep going. And then I'm going to do this last one up here. And add those X's. Alright, now I'm ready to move on to the next color. So I'm going to put my palette down, and now I'm going to clean my paintbrush. So what I do is I swirl it on the bottom, swirl, and then you're going to wipe the sides over and over again until all of the water is out. And when you feel like you've pushed all of the water out, then you're going to lightly dry it on your towel because we want it nice and clean and ready. And if your paintbrush ever looks like it's, gotten a little messy or the bristles aren't right, you can always reshape them with your fingers because a paintbrush that is taken care of will paint better. All right, so this next section, I guess I'll do this over here. I'm going to have this more of a yellow-brown. So I'm going to take my yellow, I'm going to take some of the brown, because, around the harvest time, it's the color the fields are turning. It's really quite beautiful. I'm going to do this area. So this time, instead of doing cross-hatching, I'm going to do broken strokes. So a broken stroke looks like that, and I'm just going to overlap them over and over and over again. But when you get to the edge of the window, be careful. Next one. Oh, that one's a little more yellow. That was an accident, but I guess I'm going to roll with it. I might as well make this part a little brighter yellow too. I guess subconsciously I wanted a pattern. And then down here, broken, broken, broken. All right, now I'm going to do this one, the big one. I don't know, I've got brown, I've got yellow. Maybe I'll do a little brown and green. Maybe this part of the field hasn't quite, dried up yet. So I'm going to take a little bit of this bluish green, a little bit of my green, and a little bit of that brown. Let's see what happens. I have no idea what this color is going to look like. It's a little dark. I'm doing the broken strokes again. It's just broken, broken, broken. Now I like that color, but I think it's a little dark. So I'm actually going to change my plan, and I'm going to add some white to my brown and see what happens for this top part. So I'm going to clean my brush, really wipe the bristles. All right, so now I'm going to take my brown and add some white. Let's see what happens. Now this one I'm going to take gold in with my white. Let's see what happens. Maybe a little greens in there. Oh, I like that. So I'm not mixing any of the colors. I'm just putting my paintbrush in without mixing it. It's turning out okay. I'm going to go back to the cross hatching a little bit. Whoa, my arm is getting tired. I'm going to give it a shake. No big deal. Here I go again. Crosshatch. All right, go back to my pattern. This is a little more white than the other one. That's okay. I'm going to add in some green. I don't know why I feel like doing that, but I'm going to. I know there was still lots of green everywhere today. Still lots of green. Sometimes when I paint, I talk very lightly, and I'm sorry if I do that for you guys. I certainly don't have a microphone. And then here I go. This one's going to be nice and smooth. All right, I actually love this. I think this is terrific. I don't know, I'm tempted. Do I want to add more or do I leave it be? Oh, this is fun. All right, now I'm going to move on to my pumpkins. So, as far as my pumpkins go, I don't know if you can see them in here. You can probably barely see them because there's no backlight. I'm going to switch brushes to my round brush. So I'm going to swirl the bottom. Hold on, right here. Okay, I'm going to swirl the bottom. And then I'm going to clean the sides by really pulling it. Even if your brush is clean, clean it anyway, because you honestly never know what still might be on those bristles. Try it on the paper towel, but when you dry it, reshape it. So it should be a beautiful point when you're ready to begin. All right, now I'm just going to make let's start with plain old orange. I'll do this one, plain old orange. All right, the next one, I'm going to do orange. I'm going to add in a little yellow to my paintbrush. So you can see both colors are there. This is going to be more of a Gordy. All right, this one's going to be orange as well. But maybe down on some of the bottom, it's going to be green. Maybe this one isn't quite as ready to be picked. And then this one down here will be mostly green. All right, I think that's wonderful. I'm loving how it looks so far. I hope you can see it okay from your angle. Okay, next is the sky. And then as I get here, I'm going to do some swirls. And the next one. I need to make sure that when I get to my pumpkins, I definitely don't want to paint on my pumpkins, but I have to overlap that paint, or the tape, excuse me. And I didn't tell you, but I'm using my flat brush. All right, now, after I clean my brush, swirling it on the bottom, wiping the bristles at the top, I'm going to do my sun. Now, initially, I thought I would do a sunset painting, but then there was that big open area and I decided to put in a sun. So, I'm going to do my sun, and now my sky must be blue, but blue, beautiful skies happen on fall days, so that's no problem. I'm going to start with yellow, and I'm going to put in a little gold. All right, and now here comes the sky. The sky, I'm going to do just a beautiful, beautiful blue, a light blue. All right, here we go. I like how it's a little transparent because I still want to be able to get some light in from this window. Remember, when you go to the edge of the window, be very careful. And if you get a little bit on it, all you have to do is wipe it with your finger because it takes a long time for this to dry on that kind of surface. All right, maybe we can go a little faster now. All right, that is step number 3. No, that's step number 2. Step number 3 is tomorrow. I will wait until tomorrow morning to take this tape off so we have the beautiful backlight. We can really see how impressive it is. So you just have a simple stained glass window with a very simple basic design. It's gonna look cool. And it also looks incredibly cool from the outside. So thank you so much for coming with me and doing this with me today. And I'll see you at step number 3. Bye.